Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that feels incredibly relevant, even though it happened thousands of years ago. We're in the book of Nehemiah, chapters 5 and 6. Picture this, a massive project is underway rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. The energy is high, the people are united, and things are looking good. But then, trouble starts brewing, not from the outside, but from within. Chapter 5 opens with a serious crisis. The poorer families are crying out because they're being exploited by their own people, the wealthy nobles and officials. To pay for food and taxes, they've had to mortgage their fields and even sell their children into servitude. It's a heartbreaking situation. The very people who should be helping each other are tearing each other apart for profit. This internal conflict threatened to stop the entire rebuilding project dead in its tracks. But this is where Nehemiah's leadership shines. When he hears about this injustice, he gets angry, righteously angry. He doesn't just ignore it or say, let's focus on the wall. He knows that true success isn't just about building a physical structure. It's about building a just and compassionate community. He immediately calls a public assembly and confronts the wealthy elite. He reminds them of their shared faith and identity. He says, we are trying to buy back our fellow Jews who have been sold to foreigners, but you are selling them yourselves. He hits them right where it hurts, appealing to their conscience and their fear of God, and it works. The nobles agree to return the land and the money and the interest they had unfairly taken. They make a public oath to set things right. Nehemiah not only resolves the crisis but also sets a personal example. For the 12 years he was governor, he never took the food allowance he was entitled to. Instead, he fed over 150 people at his own table every day, sharing his own resources to ease the burden on the people. He practiced what he preached, showing that leadership is about service, not self-enrichment. This is such a powerful lesson. Before you can face the enemy outside, you have to get your own house in order. Unity and justice are not optional. They are the foundation of everything. Now, with the internal crisis resolved, you'd think it would be smooth sailing, right? Wrong. In chapter 6, the external enemies come back with a vengeance. The wall is almost finished, with just the gates left to hang. Sanballat and Tobiah, the guys who have been mocking and threatening them from the start, see their window of opportunity closing. So, they change tactics. Since their threats of force didn't work, they turn to deception and intimidation. First, they try to lure Nehemiah into a trap. 4 times they send a message saying, come, let's meet together in a village on the plain of Ono. It sounds innocent, like a peace talk, but Nehemiah sees right through it. He knows they plan to harm him. His reply is legendary. I am carrying on a great project and cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and go down to you? He refuses to be distracted from his mission. So, they escalate. Sanballat sends a 5th message, this time an open letter for everyone to see. It's full of false accusations, claiming Nehemiah is planning to rebel against the king and make himself king. This was a very serious charge that could get him executed. It was a smear campaign designed to create fear and turn the people against him. Nehemiah's response is direct and confident. He simply says, nothing like what you are saying is happening. You are just making it up out of your head. He denies the lie and then immediately turns to God in prayer, asking for strength. When that doesn't work, the enemies try one last sneaky trick. They hire a prophet from inside Jerusalem, a man named Shemaiah, to trick Nehemiah into sinning. Shemaiah pretends to have a divine warning, telling Nehemiah that assassins are coming and that he should hide in the temple for safety. But Nehemiah, as a layman, was not allowed to enter the holy part of the temple. If he had done so out of fear, he would have disgraced himself and disobeyed God's law, undermining his own authority. But his discernment is sharp. He realizes it's a setup and boldly declares, should a man like me run away? Or should one like me go into the temple to save his life? I will not go. Despite all these attacks, social injustice from within, and deception, slander, and spiritual manipulation from without, the wall is completed. In just 52 days, it's an astonishing achievement, and the impact is huge. When their enemies saw that the wall was finished, the Bible says they lost their self-confidence. because they realized that this work had been done with the help of God. The story of Nehemiah 5 and 6 is a masterclass in leadership and perseverance. It teaches us that to achieve anything great, we must first ensure justice and unity among ourselves. And when opposition comes, and it will, we must stay focused, refuse to be distracted or intimidated, and trust in God to give us the strength to finish what we started. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time.